Hello everyone, this is Denise. Welcome to Something Beautiful Handcrafts. This is a studio vlog. I said I wasn't really going to make any more of the studio vlogs. They don't seem to, do all that great. But in this case, I wanted to catch up real quick on everything across a couple of different spectrums so that I can move on. Now, I got a Sonali mold doll, American Girl doll. I got it on the 7th of July, and it's somewhere in limbo. Still waiting for it. It'll get here at some point. But in the meantime, about 7 days after that, I got a outfit for that doll. We're going to open it up here. That came from Missouri, and it got here. And the doll's still somewhere. Okay, so the Sonali mold doll I got is a number 46. I believe from the description. I assume it was a 46. And that's the doll that looks like Gabriella. And so I was trying to decide whether I wanted the Gabriella's meat outfit, because essentially they are the same doll, or whether I not wanted 46's meat outfit. Now, the whole Gabriella thing is a bone of contention to some people, and I may or may not get into it when the doll actually arrives, but I decided that it was kind of a mockery, and I didn't really want a Gabriella meat outfit. I would just go with the Truly Me 46's outfit. So let's see what we got here. Okay, now I always think it's pretty funny, like when you see these pictures laid out, they look like little kids' outfits. And they're not necessarily laid out for scale. And when they come, then you're like, wow, look how tiny these things are. But that is always so cool. So here's are her meat boots. They don't look like they've even been worn by a doll before, which is so cool. So if they were worn, they were kept very well. If not, they're just the most adorable little guys like this. They are left and right. And here is her little teeny little shirt and her teeny little skirt. That is so adorable. So number 46 should have been here by now, but I'm going to go ahead and try these out on number 30 so you can get a good idea about how they look. In the meantime, let's go on with the other things I've been doing. Here is number 30 in the outfit. She is just such a real cutie. It's perfect. Now, don't mind the white spots. I'm still working on getting the ink off of her face. Doll restoration and repair is not for the faint of heart. A little after I started, I found out about a product called Removes It. And supposedly it would have taken care of my ink problem a lot sooner. But I was just too cheap to send away from it. It's like $11 a tube plus shipping. And I figured I'd just keep going with what it is that I'm using. The ink is kind of fading. It's been a few weeks. But I'll show you that on her video. She has a separate video about this. Anyway, that's it for the dolls I'm working on. Eddie's outfit. And it's really nice. It's nice being in the Civil War era. If you know anything about the Civil War era and dress, that is a wonderful era to make dresses. But I'm going to save that for Eddie's video. So bye-bye, number 30. So I started Tour de Fleece in good faith, thinking I would be able to spend at least a little bit each day. But that was really not how it worked out with my hand. It just was uncomfortable. And there were other things that wound up taking precedence over it. So I only spent a few days. I did just a little documentation. But what I did do is finally finish up all that brown wool that has been inside of all of my videos. So here are 3 skeins of it. And this is what's left to ply on the bobbins. And I'll be using that as some kind of weft or some kind of warp or weft, depending on what it is I finally decide to make. And so I can move on to pretty much something else. This band snapped on me this morning, and I shouldn't really be surprised because I know I've been working it for years. I'm not even sure how long it was being worked prior to that. But I went ahead and melded it back together. The first, 3 tries didn't really work, but it worked this time. And it seems to be doing well, except for the fact that I can hear it click as it comes across the wood whorl. Other than that, that's not too bad. So hopefully it will last me a little bit longer until I can replace it. That's the spinning business. So besides the dolls and the spinning, pretty much I've been trying to focus more of my energy into getting back into the workforce. As you know, I haven't been teaching in several years, and it's just so apparent I'm not going to go back to teaching elementary school. And the reality is I probably shouldn't have been teaching elementary school in the first place. It's just really not well suited for what I like to do. And so in the meantime, I've been trying to support myself with all kind of little various business endeavors. And that's how I wound up with so much stuff. The yarn and the fiber and all that kind of stuff were never very lucrative. And I tried to add little things to them to make them more appealing. The cards, the stitch markers, all that kind of stuff. And that stuff kind of drives up, the operating budget. So I had decided a little while ago that I was going to make beads and buttons and things from resin and polymer clay. And I wasn't really sure what was better, resin or polymer clay. So I got a little bit of both, and I've been playing around for some time with both. And it was fun. It definitely was fun while it lasted, but neither one of those was really what I needed to accomplish my goals. So I decided that I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff. I'm going to try to use it up. Okay, so if you haven't seen these letters, these are just about the cutest thing. I saw somebody making them. It seemed like a craft opportunity at that time. People are like, oh yeah, they're good for sales. That didn't really work out too well for me. But I definitely enjoyed making them. So after I gave them to friends and family, I wound up with these ones left. So I am going to try to find these guys a home and then use up what I have of the resin. Look how cool they are, though. They are a lot of fun. Find them a new home. Look at this guy. I did wind up with some of the cutest molds. And the buttons. Love the little resin buttons. I've been working on polymer clay whorls. Basically because I do have a really hard time finding the wooden wheels that I like to use. And when I do find them, they are best bought in bulk. And I just don't need that many of them, to sell. So trying to find something that I could kind of turn into a whorl in a smaller quantity when I need like 2 or 3 whorls. And so I tried the polymer clay, which is really cool because I've got quite a few of that. I figured I'd give it a whirl, literally. And actually, they make nice whorls. It's nice balance, nice weight. So there's going to be a basic beginning drop spindle class in September at Praxis. So I'm going to make several spindles out of this polymer clay. That turned really nice. And that way I can go ahead and use up those supplies that I have and just kind of declutter and get that stuff out of the way. Now I know that I've never been really consistent with uploads from the very beginning because a lot of times these projects just take time, and I can go forward with them when I have, the funds to, discretionary funds to go forward with projects. That's understandable. But with this whole push again, whenever, I'm going to take a little less time on YouTube and a little more time doing some kind of real worldly type things. So I will try to upload maybe twice a month. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, I want to leave you with this because I think this is really important. These are socks from my friend's milled yarn from her alpacas. I love these socks. I really love this yarn. But I discussed with her the other day about how unsuitable this yarn is for socks, especially hiking socks, which is what they're meant for. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, a Denise Downer, but I do want to say that, and this has pretty much been my statement since I started this YouTube channel, different breeds are for different reasons. While it's possible for you to make a merino sock, it's not going to wear like a Cheviot sock would, or a downbreed sock, or even a BFL sock, or a superwash sock. So that from the batch we made last time, we found that they felt down and they're becoming impossible to wear. So, love you guys. When you make your blends for your sock yarns, whether you are hand spinning sock blends, whether you are using a commercial sock blend, whether you are getting your socks milled, from fibers you have or at the mill, take care of the breed characteristics that you are using when you make your socks. Or later down the line, you're going to find yourself frustrated with a sock that's going to wear quickly or is going to felt severely. Especially keep this in mind if you are selling socks or selling any items. You want to make sure you use the breed that is appropriate for whatever it is that you are using, and the yarn that is appropriate for whatever it is that you're using. And you use best practices when you process this fiber, especially if you're processing it yourself. So choose wisely and handle that choice with care after you do. That's all I'm going to say now. Thank you for watching my studio vlog. If you'd like to support this channel, you can start off with a basic like, a comment. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you have some extra time on your hands and you want to support the channel, you can go to my Etsy store and see what's there. I want to go ahead and get this stuff sold in the Etsy store because I think I'm going to close it. I haven't decided really yet. Or you can support me by buying a coffee through the link down below. You can see me on Facebook and on Instagram. Thank you so much. Have a great day.